So, today we'll do something a bit different. I will attempt to commentate some of my recent gameplay. I went back to USS 6.0 7.0 to farm the last stages of the current grinding event, and I thought the game that I'm about to show you would be interesting to explain. More specifically, the thought process or the decisions I made which led to a pretty good result. Hopefully those explanations will help some of you understand a bit better when to push a flank or how to take advantage of certain situations. I will still cut the gameplay here and there and skip the quote-unquote boring parts, but ultimately it's still a test. I might do more like that in the future, or it will be a standalone video. We'll see if you guys like it or not. So for this game I went for the M18 light tank, and the map is Attica. Now, Attica is a bit interesting because if you want to snipe, you'll probably go towards the A point. If you want CQC, you'd probably want to go towards the C point. And finally, the B point on this map is not really the most popular spot for most players. Despite not being the most favored part of the map for many, this location offers a lot of tactical opportunities. Attica is designed in a very linear fashion, with only few corridors available to move from one lane to the other. When spawning, I had a very specific spot in mind that I wanted to reach, and to reach that spot, we must first go through the B point. The thing that I always check after spawning is of course the nations. Today's enemies are Germany and Russia, so that immediately indicates to me that they won't have any vehicles to contest my speed, and that there's also a very low chance for me to cross paths with an enemy if I try to rush and get to my spot. I first made a pit stop to see if there was an enemy coming towards the B point. As a very cautious person by nature, I do like to make sure that I'm safe before fully committing to a flank or a push. Plus today I only have one tank in my lineup, and since it's a partial up tier, it's best to be careful. After making sure I was safe, I went to one of those corridors that I mentioned earlier, hoping to have eyes on the enemies fighting near the A point. We spotted a tiger in the distance, but as you can see, this engagement style isn't really what a light tank wants. I need to get closer and surprise the red team a bit more, so we'll move to a second corridor, which is where I initially wanted to go. This one is tricky to reach, since you can be shot from multiple angles. However, you'll see that the enemy team completely discarded the B point, and as a result, allowed our forces to slip through their fingers. At this point, we reached the spot that I wanted to, and as you can see, the enemy tanks are a lot more visible, vulnerable, and oblivious to our position, since this spot is more or less supposed to be on their side of the battlefield. However, since they left a big hole in their front line, we were able to reach it, and it's about to make their day a lot more miserable. You'll witness some very bad shots from me in this game, by the way, just a warning. So, despite my bad aim, you can see that this spot lets you lock down pretty much the access to the A and B point. And on top of that, you can also see a bunch of those 2 points. So if someone manages to reach them, you can still shoot them while they are capturing the point. Also, notice how well the camouflage of my M18 is blending with the environment. With a bunch of planes flying around, that is the kind of detail you want to help you go unnoticed or to increase your concealment. One thing to always do, especially when you're in a risky spot like this, is to often check your back to make sure you don't get flanked and shot from behind. Thankfully, we are facing mostly Germany, and they seem to be very oblivious about the situation. Since the friendly M41A1 and I both missed our shots on the Tigers, we are now spotted, and that's when your advantage of being a light tank comes out. Use your scouting feature and just be patient. Someone from your team won't resist a juicy marked target and will probably come help you at some point. Now, at this point of the game, the red team had lost their only strong presence on the battlefield, which was around the C point, and since we have all 3 capture points, that's when you should start thinking about pushing. As a light tank, always scout the enemy tanks, whether you can shoot them or not, since it gives you a bunch of rewards for it, and, well, it's your job after all. After realizing that I could have a nuke, I did throw caution out of the window to try and make myself some quick points. So we'll crit the Narson, but eventually die to it since I reacted slightly too late. Unfortunately, my teammates finished him only at the last second, so technically I did get the nuke, but I just couldn't spawn it. In the end, 8 kills, a bunch of scouting assists, and most of the blue team did well too. Overall, a pretty good game in my book. So I hope this game showed you the importance of first not having holes in your front line, where to go on this map if you want a risky but rewarding position, how to set up crossfires, and some of the basics when playing a light tank. As always, I hope this video was useful to you. Once again, remember that this is a test, so feel free to tell me if you'd like me to expand on this concept a bit more or not. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one.